Hey, I'm Ryan Reynolds.
Recently, I asked Mint Mobile's legal team if big wireless companies are allowed to raise prices due to inflation. They said yes. And then when I asked if raising prices technically violates those onerous two-year contracts, they said, "What the f*** are you talking about, you insane Hollywood ass?" So to recap, we're cutting the price of Mint Unlimited from $30 a month to just $15 a month.
Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
$45 upfront payment equivalent to $15 per month. New customers on first 3-month plan only. Taxes and fees extra. Speed slower above 40 gigabytes. See details.
Oh, sorry. That's for a Democrat show.
No matter what the technical difficulty is, this man is a professional. He goes all the way.
What you represent to them is freedom.
Was an extremely great conservative commentator. We're tearing it up on Wednesday night. This is awesome. This will allow me to report.
Well, this is Jersey Joe for the Reaver of Common Sense show. 8 p.m. on shrmedia.com.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show.
And welcome to the Reaver of Common Sense. I am your host, Jersey Joe. Making sense out of the senseless. The Jersey Takeover is here. We have expanded at 2 hours every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Remember to join the live chat. Go to shrmedia.com. Just click on the chat room button. Join the conversation. If you want to watch a broadcast, you can go to Reaver.1. Click on the live stream. If you like that live stream, please do not forget to subscribe. Keep up to date. If you want to support the show, if you want to support SHR Media, go to Reaver.1. Click on the Reaver store. And lastly, while you're on Reaver.1, click on the Glenn A. Doherty Memorial Scholarship. You'll get the information of who to contact, their email. You can donate a few dollars to this great scholarship. And one last announcement. Tonight is the Southside Mutt Show with its host, the Jersey Boys, Jersey Joe, and Crash. So, last night was another Super Tuesday, and Trump swept all 5 states. Now, normally I don't really try to bring this up because, well, dang. It's still, he can screw up. He can lose it. But what I'm getting tired of hearing is from Cruz that his campaign is just hitting its stride. And next week is when we are going to start dominating. We had 5 wins in a row. We're going to start dominating. We're taking Donald Trump down, and the people want me as their candidate. Well, that's 6 states in a row for Trump. And 2 of the 5 that Cruz talks about were non-primary, non-caucus. It was vote for delegates type deal in one state. And the other one, it was just the delegates picked who they wanted. And that's how it's going to be in Colorado. The delegates get to pick who they want. So he is almost right there. want to make sure I get the right numbers. Donald Trump right now is about 954 out of 1237. So we get the old calculator out and we go 1237 minus 954. And that's 238 out of 616. That's less than 50%. One state has 172, which is California, which, yes, Trump, last poll I saw, is leading by 5 points. You have Indiana coming up, and that's 57, winner take all. Trump's leading that. So let's minus what? All right, out of California is 172. Let's give a moderate 150. And that's what a lot of the experts are saying. So now we're down to 133. I think he can win Indiana. So there's 57. Oops. Hang on. Got to start all over again. I forgot to carry the 2. No. Equals minus 150. So Indiana gone. He's down to 76 points. Now, there's a Pennsylvania or New Jersey, which I think is 51. Well, between now and then, okay, we got Maine. Then we got Nebraska, 36. West Virginia, 34. Oregon, 28. Washington, 44. Then June 7th, the final, you have Montana, 27. New Jersey, 51. Nebraska, or New Mexico, 24. South Dakota, 29. You know, he's got a very easy path. He's got less than 50%. And I was just looking at some stats, and they're saying that he needs 58% of the delegates. No, he doesn't. He needs like 48% of the delegates. While Cruz needs 110% of the delegates. And Kasich, well, I didn't even bother to look at Kasich. I mean, Kasich's only got 153 delegates. And he's still in 4th place. It's... Oh, and then I got to hear last night, well, you know, when you put Kasich and Cruz together, you're very close to Trump. No, you're still 200 shy of him. But with the Trump blowout, the Donald takes them all in the Super Tuesday. Billionaire Donald Trump easily swept the latest iteration of Super Tuesday, dominating in Pennsylvania, Maryland, Delaware, Connecticut, and Rhode Island. And he won all contests by large margins. And still, I got to hear last night, well, he's not winning. He didn't win any conservative states. They're all very liberal states. They're blue states. You know, some people are listening too much to the so-called experts. Hold on 1 second. Do we have a surprise caller? And we're going to have a surprise caller that just called in. Give me 1 second to get him into the system. Can you hear me? Crash. Crash.
Hello.
Hey.
All right.
All right, so everybody that don't know, this is Crash, my co-host for tonight's show, the Southside Mutts. He's driving in between his jobs right now. Go ahead and say hi or something.
Or something. Sorry, my headset's acting up. I'm driving. I'm on the road, so.
Oh, good old
yeah.
New Jersey.
Oh, yeah.
You gotta love it, or at least love to hate it. That's what I do.
So what we're talking about, Super Tuesday, part 232, and how Trump swept last night all 5 states, and by large margins. Cruz came in 3rd place in 4 of the 5 states. Let's see, Pennsylvania, 56% to 21% with Cruz, 19 Kasich. In Maryland, Trump got 54%, Kasich 23, Cruz 18. Delaware, Trump 60%, Kasich 20, and Cruz 15%. And Connecticut, Donald Trump 57, Kasich 28, and Cruz 11. Cruz, and that what I was talking about, I keep hearing from him is, next race, next week is when we're going to hit our stride, and we're going to start taking down Donald Trump. Next week, next race, next time. I mean, he's starting to run out of next times.
Yeah, honestly, the whole thing is really chapping my... I don't know, is this show censored or not?
No.
The only thing that's really getting underneath my skin is this whole strategy now that Cruz and Kasich are doing. Hey, let's join forces together, and I'll get all the votes from here, you get all the votes from here. We'll choke him out so that he doesn't get the 1237, meaning he's guaranteed the nomination. Then we go to the convention, and then the two of us will go back to beating the crap out of each other because we both want to be in charge. It's not what the damn people want. The election is supposed to be what the people want, what the majority of the people want.
Now. Hold on. It is not the majority. The majority is 50 plus 1. If you didn't catch
that would be the definition of majority.
I know. There's multiple definitions of majority, and people seem to forget the other definitions of majority.
Well, you could say that you could flip it the other way and say, well, the majority of the people don't want Trump because he's only got 48% support and the rest of it is split up among 6 candidates. So the majority of people don't want him, which is also true. However, that's not how an election is supposed to work.
I agree.
I mean, this isn't coming from a state of, I'm a diehard Trump supporter, and he's going to be, absolutely, I'm all about him. It has to do with what's right is right and what's wrong is wrong. And the way that this whole election process is being handled is just wrong. It's that simple to me. It's wrong. I don't agree with how this is being done because essentially what you're doing is you're removing the people's voice. Yep. We're all supposed to have a voice, yet you've got all these delegates that don't have to follow what the people voted for. And then even the ones that are supposed to follow it, once it goes to the convention, you didn't get an automatic nomination. Cool, now I can do whatever the hell it is I want.
Well, they're going by a set of rules that were needed a while ago. Hey, Kel, and not your Kel, one of the listeners in the chat room. This is that the contested convention and brokered conventions are for an archaic time. It has nothing to do with modern time. They could do away with it, and it wouldn't affect the way the elections go. And I've been harping on it, but this convention stuff is set up for a bygone era when the candidates couldn't get to every state. So therefore, a lot of times you would have multiple candidates elected in multiple states. So they would have to try to figure out who the candidate would be. So they keep going. Well, Abraham Lincoln won it on second or third round. And yeah, because he wasn't able to get to all of the states. The travel was not possible at that time as it is now. The contested convention and the broker convention should be eliminated, but not this year because that is the rules for this year. I am a big proponent of if you want to change the rules, if we want to change the rules for 2020, we would need to change them now so they're all set and done and ready to go for 2020.
Yeah, I think we covered some of that last week on the night show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A little bit of tidbit from what I'm reading. Last night's Super Tuesday, Donald Trump, out of 5 states, lost 2 towns.
Out of 5 states, he lost 2 towns?
Yes. That's bad. That is bad when you start talking he only lost 2 towns out of 5 states. But they keep saying, Cruz and Kasich keep saying, well, the people don't want him. Well, it looks like the people do. And yeah, I don't agree with them colluding and conspiring. Oh, well, you got the resource for this, and he needs less than 50% of the delegates now. If it was any other candidate, everybody would have backed out by now. It would have been.
Yeah, the thing is, and in all honesty, I hope that the candidates remember this. Okay, actually, I hope all the politicians, and you know what, even the American people, I hope you all remember what Kasich and Cruz are doing right now. Because honestly, there's another side to this. Guess what? 2 politicians just figured out how to freaking work together. Now, why the hell can't they do that in Congress?
Why can't they fight this strong against the Democrats?
Exactly.
Why can't they fight this hard against Obama?
You know something, you don't want something, you are steadfast in your beliefs that the American people do not want this. I mean, they are committed to the fact that the American people do not want this. That's their stance. Okay, fine. Everybody's entitled to their stance. Everybody's entitled to their point of view. And they are putting up one hell of a strong thing, along with a lot of other people in the RNC. They're trying to, we got to block them. Let's pull everything together. How about you guys pull everything together on national issues? How about you pull everything together when it comes to, high-ranking politicians that have committed treason? How about you pull everything together for that? We're putting all these resources into blocking a guy's election. Okay. I think there'd be better use of that dang time.
How about they come together and unite the party and actually try to win a presidential election instead of rolling over? Because Cruz already said that if he is the nominee and he's going to go up against Hillary, he is not going to do any attacks. He is going to just he's not going to go personal. He's just going to go at the issues. He already lost against Hillary. If he's going to do that, he lost. I mean, if you're not willing to get down and dirty against Hillary Clinton, you might as well just pack it up and go home now.
Oh, yeah, because that's the only way she plays. Now, I'm not saying that, in all honesty, when it comes to the political arena, okay, do I believe in all the personal attacks? Yeah, touchy issue, because somebody's character, I think, should come into question when that person's going to be the leader of the free world. I think their character does come into play. I think the morals and everything else it should come into play to an extent. But what's more important than that is their track record and what they stand for and stand against. Hillary Clinton says, she's used it in the past where, all these people are attacking me about Benghazi. That's not a personal attack because it's you specifically. Don't be so egotistical. It's an attack against the former Secretary of State who dropped the flipping ball and cost American lives. It wouldn't matter if it was her or anybody else in that position. If the same situation had gone down, I would hope that the same results would have happened, that people would have been pissed.
Do you know what the response of the left is? Well, there was all these attacks underneath Bush, and there was no investigation. There was all these attacks on consulates during Reagan's era, and there was no investigation. I always loved that one. There was people that were killed in these attacks, and there was no investigations. And I'll give you the response that I give then. Hey, dumbass, backup was sent during those incidents. They weren't left to die like Benghazi personnel was left to die. Backup was sent on all those other attacks.
Precisely. Now, if they had ordered in, if they had, the gunship that was on station, if they had been given the green light to engage, and Chris Stevens still died, and
I wouldn't be complaining. They did something.
Sorry?
I wouldn't be complaining. They did something. They try to help. Sometimes people die.
And that's the thing. It's war. It's combat. It's not pretty. It's not a flippin' movie. And bad stuff happens to good people. It is an unfortunate reality of the world in which we live. But if some action has been taken, I could still be pissed. I can still disagree with the politics of why we were there, why we weren't pulled out. Maybe there'd be questions about the security, blah, 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 blah. Okay, fine. The fact of the matter is, it wasn't just one thing. She knew that there was problems in other areas. They pulled. Didn't pull out Olivia, though. They didn't pull them out. They knew that there was security issues with that specific installation.
It was a temporary installation. It wasn't an actual consulate. All right, I need to ask you a question because I was reading an article the other night on it, and now they're saying that there's that plane that it's air support, and it has that like those major 50 caliber guns out of the side of the ship. I think it's like an A-10 or something like that. You know what I'm talking about?
405s.
Okay.
405 millimeter. Yeah, it's the I can't remember the platform that it's mounted on.
But you know what?
Essentially, it's a converted cargo plane.
Yeah.
That's nothing more than a gunship that's got a couple.
And they're accurate. Yeah, they're
on the side
accurate.
of it.
They're accurate as anything. Now it comes to find out it was over Benghazi, and it was not given the green light to assist in defense.
The statement that I made about the gunship that was on station, that's what I was referring to.
Well, no. At first, this is just coming out that it was over top Benghazi flying. Yep. There's a lot of reports. There was a lot of personnel and equipment that was on the ground ready to go. But now it's coming out. There was equipment in the air above them, and it could have helped. There was a fighter jet that was nearby, said he could have made it there minutes when it first happened. He just wanted to go below the deck, hit his afterburners, scare the shit out of everybody. A non-violent, everybody would have left. Or at least given a time frame where they could have regrouped.
It would have given them pause. It would have given the insurgency pause. The way that, if I remember correctly, actually, as much as, some movies are better than others, the original Transformers movie and the beginning opening scene. In all honesty, that's the ship.
That's the plane that I'm talking about.
They're talking about that aircraft. And that scene where they laser the target, that's how that ship fires. It is designed for close ground support.
At a high altitude.
With heavy, heavy weapons. It's armor piercing. That's what it was designed for. And, the report is saying that there was guys on the ground, they had contact with that asset, and they had everything sighted in. They were not given the green light to fire.
Yep.
Why?
And
you know what? And another thing that I'm really getting tired of hearing is this whole, there's innocent civilians and women and children. Yeah, you know what? There are. And I'm not disagreeing that.
I haven't heard that one.
We just need to go and mow down entire neighborhoods because there's one insurgent in there? No. I've got morality too. However, if you got 50 insurgents and one woman in there who's innocent,
I'm getting tired of that excuse.
I hate to sound like the SOB here, but why is she there? Is she there on her own accord? Does she agree with what's going on? Is she a hostage? There's 1,001 variables, but at the end of the day, they're killing our boys.
Well, I'm getting tired of nobody worries about our civilians when they get killed. Nobody worried about 9/11, all the civilians that got killed. There's chastising. In fact, there's people that are standing up for the terrorists now, and I'm tired of it. There's casualties of war. It happens. We should do our best to try to keep from happening, but guess what? It's going to happen. It does happen. It's real life. Battles aren't on a piece of paper. You can't fight a battle that way. And it's the mentality of this tree-hugging, hippie-loving, everybody come together and love each other is a fantasy. And they know it's not real. They know it can never be real, but they push it so they can get whatever they want. And I'm going to keep on pushing it. The Allied forces that fought, and we gave up God knows how much blood of the Allied forces to fight against this socialism, this government control. The Allied forces stood up and fought against them. In fact, created the UN to combat so we never had to fight that war again. They are now pushing the exact governments that we fought against. Does that make sense to what I just said? I mean...
It makes sense what you just said. I have no idea what you just said. I'm playing with my GPS while I'm driving a vehicle. No, it does make sense. We essentially, we fought for years. Honestly, if you look at most of our armed conflicts, it had to do with essentially ensuring that we're a free people, that this country is free, and trying to spread that around the world, which I don't think that ideology works in all areas. I don't think that every place in the world functions better with our type of political structure. And honestly, I think some of the stuff we end up getting ourselves immersed into, I think we just needed to mind our own flipping business. It's just, but that's my personal opinion on that. But the fact of the matter is, the very stuff that we fought to topple, that our grandparents and our parents, but there is no way this is right. This is tyranny. This is socialism. That's just bad. Look how it's destroying these people. Look how it's causing all these problems, blah, blah, blah. We got to put a stop to this. And now it's this generation that's trying to think, yay, socialism. Yay, free stuff. Yay, me. I got a trophy. For what?
Showing
What'd you
up.
get a trophy for?
Do I have to give you a trophy for today because you showed up on the show? Do I have to give you a trophy?
Dick.
Yeah.
Yes, you do. Yeah. That was good. Do I have to give you a trophy because you showed up? That was
and you even got people, they're expecting all this money because they showed up to work. They think they're entitled to all this money. We have been brainwashing the last several decades. Even in my generation, they were trying to, they were starting that indoctrination, and it just didn't really take with our generation. But this new generation, the me generation, it scares the crap out of me of where we're going.
But, honestly, scaring the crap out of me, yeah, that's definitely on there. I actually read an interesting article.
Did it have pictures?
What's that?
Did it have pictures?
Yeah, actually it had, I think it had 3 pictures and 2 words. F you.
No, I was going to say, send the article to me. If it's got pictures, send the article to me.
Oh, okay. No, it had a picture of the CEO, and it had a picture of, the office. It was more just documentation. But anyway, what the article had to do with was essentially the changing work environments, okay? It was discussing this CEO. He's 28 years old. Him and his buddy from college started an online news company. Kind of like, Reddit, InfoWars. There's tons of BuzzFeed. I don't know. I can't even, top 3 that came to mind. But we started this online, and the whole point behind it was geared towards is the me generation. It's geared to millennials. Me.
Shit, Beaker. That's what? Beaker from the Muppets. Me.
You need to get a sound effect for that one. Every time somebody says millennial, you need to play that.
Me.
And he was talking about it, and, he was talking about his company. Well, it's a very open environment. I want everybody to feel open, be able to openly express their opinions. They can decorate their workspace any way they choose, kind of set their own schedules. Now, evidently, it's been successful. Company's been in business for about, I think, just under 10 years. They've got an office in downtown New York. I can't remember how many viewers. I think it's like a few million viewers. They got correspondents that travel all over the world. I mean, evidently, he made something out of it. Good for him. Well, I applaud that. Now, the funny thing is, he's designed this whole thing around the millennials, right? And he's starting to see a little, and I'm guessing it's because of his position, he's starting to realize that there's a double-edged sword with this. Now, what prompted a lot of this was he had a worker who came to him and said, I had a death in the family, I need to go out west. And his response was obviously, I'm so sorry for your loss. Take all the time you need. Now, the following week, he reads on a blog that was posted by the employee all over the office. He sent this to his office about how exhausted he was at work and how he needed to refine his youth, so he's spending the week at home building a new tree fort. and the owner was pissed. He's like, what the fuck? This guy lied straight to my face. I mean, what the hell? And he goes and talks to the legal department and everything else, and essentially what came back was, the guy's pissed. He thinks it was completely inappropriate what happened, but at the same time, he set the environment up for that to happen. So can he truly discipline the guy? And there was a talk, and they were talking with like a strategist or something. I think she was the one writing this little expose. And she was saying that essentially the current workforce needs to get over it. The millennial generation, those are the workers now. 40% of the workforce is made up of millennials, and this older school mentality, we need to get over it. These are the people that are running things. These are the people taking over. And we need to change to them. I'm sorry? I need to do what to you?
And when they start failing...
Sure.
It's
the point. Two quick things. One, in a board meeting, 8 a.m., young girl pulls out of her bag, tuna fish sandwich, starts chomping down. She was asked by her supervisor, what was that all about? It wasn't lunchtime. Well, you told me to be me, and I was hungry.
And I am going to be me, and you be fired.
Exactly. They get to make up their own titles. Actually, at that news company, he said they get to make up their own titles. Just about everybody's an executive director. That completely removes the point of a hierarchy, and it completely removes
that is where it shows that they have no initiative. Because my ass be saying, I'm the owner.
You get some. That's literally you get a trophy for showing up.
Yeah.
Wait, I called into the show today. I am the executive producer of Reaver of Common Sense. Why? Because I said so. Come on.
I'm serious. I'd be going, okay, I'm the owner. That's my title, owner.
Yeah. Give me my shares.
So, since I'm the owner, I'm going to go home now and I want full pay.
Yeah.
Oh
people have titles and they have positions based on what they've accomplished. That says for your accomplishments. Okay, so this is the new generation. This is that we're supposed to bend over for them? Well, then you know what? I'm extremely, extremely horrified, mortified, and terrified of our next military generation. We are going to have 1 million generals.
And no privates.
You know what? Yeah, no privates. Well, no, wait. We can't have privates because we don't know which ones are standard issue anymore. Okay? I mean, it's like a freaking potato head dog. You can switch up the junk with whatever you want based on the day. Come on.
The potato head dog.
Sorry.
The interchangeable genitals. What do you feel like being today? Do you feel like having a nuts today or not?
I don't know where that came from. I didn't realize I was saying it until it was out of my mouth. Sorry about that. Anyway, moving on. But I think it just removes the point of accomplishment.
Sometimes you feel like a nut, sometimes you don't.
This director's got nuts. This one doesn't because
I just feel like not having any nuts today. So, oh God, we're gonna get the hate mail in on that one. Crash at Reaver.1. All hate mail goes to.
Yes, I am the public complaint department. I also serve as the HR department. And if you do not feel that you are being sufficiently harassed, please let me know, and I will be sure to get to you next time.
Do you even check that email?
Wait, that email's real?
Yes,
Oh, crap.
I told you I made it. There's actually a crash at Reaver.1. I need to log into that and be like seeing like 30 pages of I'm sick of the disgusting jokes that both you and Jersey are going back and forth. The language you guys use is
Oh man! All right, yeah. I guess I'm gonna have to. I'm gonna have to check that at some point. Oh God, that was good. That was fun.
Just so everybody could, those that are just catching in, Crash called in today. He's in between jobs, driving to his other job, so he figured to call in and we'd have some fun. And Kel in the chat room says, hi, Crash.
Tell everybody in the chat room I said hi.
You can tell them yourself. They're listening.
Wait a second. I guess if they're in the chat room, they're listening, aren't they?
Yes, you blonde-headed Nimrod.
And just think, people, I'm licensed to operate a motor vehicle.
And there goes your participation trophy. It's absolutely ridiculous.
That's what that button does. I've been wondering what that does.
So now I'm going to go on to back onto schedule. And I'm glad I have it here. Maybe we'll discuss it more tonight. Brad Pitt is going to co-chair the Brady Campaign Gun Control Awards in Los Angeles. They now have an award for walking all over your Second Amendment right.
Are you freaking kidding me? Please tell me that is a joke of the day.
On May 4th, actor Brad Pitt will co-chair the Brady Campaign to Prevent Gun Violence Gun Control Award Gala. The gala will be held at the Four Seasons Hotel at Beverly Hills. The cheapest tickets are $500. Then there's the Bear Award. The Bear Awards are named after Jim Bear Brady, former press secretary for Ronald Reagan. The awards are dedicated to honoring those who fight for more gun control restrictions for law-abiding citizens throughout America. Now, what really has me... I get pissed off with the Brady campaign is there was another man shot and almost lost his life also that same day. And he never pushed for any gun control. Ronald Reagan got shot and almost lost his life. It pierced, his heart?
I believe so, yes.
And he never pushed gun control. He did not blame the gun. He blamed the person. Oh, the list here even gets better. Vietnam War protester Jane Fonda is serving on the honorary host committee for the gun control gala. The Los Angeles event lists other honorary host committee members. And actually, I've never heard. Oh, Dustin Hoffman, Julia Louis-Dreyfus, Jason Segel, Judy Hofflund, Tom Hansen, Lee Kirk. But yes, they are going to give awards out and celebrate gun control. And yes, Kel, it's Brady's wife that started that whole gun control movement. Listen, people, I missed the one break already, and it's time for the second one is here. So let me take a quick break, and I'll be right back after these messages.
Done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
Breaking news. According to the latest report coming out of SHR Media, a merchandise store to support both the Reaver of Common Sense and SHR Media has just been unleashed to the general public. Be forewarned that this site can be contagious and numerous items can be purchased to support the best news programming. Go to Reaver.one website and click on the store link to check out the merchandise.
Listening to Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe. Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch the Reaver of Common Sense show, hosted by Jersey Joe, right here on shrmedia.com and highplains.dailynews.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else, so consider this your fair warning.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians,
You got a business. You didn't build that.
a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean.
Dude, I'm not saying cow for the stupid promo.
Sackhead Clint.
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
Also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, 'cause I'm drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on shrmedia.com.
Every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, it is the Reaver After Dark, hosted by Jersey Boys, Jersey Joe, and Jersey Crash, right here on shrmedia.com and highplainsdailynews.com.
Times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guide. Because truth is not always pleasant.
If you miss a show, don't worry. You can catch the replays two ways, rebootingliberty.com or the reaverofcommonsense.com. While you're there on Reaver of Common Sense, don't forget, drop in your email and keep up to date on everything going on, or click the like button on the Facebook widget. Now on to the Reaver of Common Sense.
Done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show.
And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense. I am your host, Jersey Joe. The Jersey Takeover is here. We have expanded to 2 hours every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And during that time, we are trying to make the sense out of the senseless, and today it just does not make sense. I know I have a bunch of other stuff that I normally go over, but I know I only have Crash for a few more minutes, so I want to try to get into another subject real quick. Right now, Cruz is eliminated. He cannot reach the 1237 mark. Okay? Kasich cannot reach the 1237 mark. Cruz.
No, the only one that's got a shot is
Trump, and all right, there's 616 delegates left. He only needs 283. That's left at less than 50%. I think it's like 48%, something like that. I know they're advertising something else, but basic math is basic math. 300, half of 600 is 300, and it's over 600 left, and he needs less than 300. So, Cruz was preaching just a couple weeks ago that he is a principled man, and anybody that has no path to the nomination, that cannot get to the 1237, should drop out of the race. He is eliminated, and he's making excuses now, and as you talked about earlier, he is colluding with Kasich on how to screw over the American people. But it's actually backfiring on him, that whole teaming up together. I have been seeing in mass amounts on Twitter, Facebook, of his what used to be supporters, where they've said that was the last straw, that they're not going to support Trump. They refuse to vote for Trump. That they see that he is just nothing more than the typical politician of the establishment. He screwed himself over real bad when he did that. And if you look at the polls, his campaign and Kasich's campaign is nosediving. They think if one steps out of this state, all their voters are going to run to the other person and not Trump. Well, we've seen it time and time again. Every time someone drops out, it almost evenly splits amongst the remaining candidates. You still there?
Yeah, no, I'm still here. Listen to it.
All right. Well, you're getting a little choppy.
Apologies. I cracked with that.
Oh, okay.
Is that better?
Yeah.
There you go.
And yes, Kel, he can get to the 1237 easily. He can get to it before June 7th. But when you look at what's left, he needs 283. California is 172. He could very easily walk out 150. New Jersey is 51. He's polling ahead. There's no way Trump or Cruz or Kasich are going to win New Jersey. You know,
I think Indiana, I think, is still on the table, and that's like 70 or 80, I think.
57, but it's a winner-take-all. Well, sort of. There's the statewide. If you get over 50%, you have the statewide, and then by county. He could walk out very easily with 50 to 57 right there, and it's... let me pull it up real quick.
That's the whole reason why they're doing this strategy of going after specific states, especially something like Indiana, where it's a winner-take-all, because if Kasich grabs all those away and then Cruz grabs all these away from another one, and it's a slow whittling down process.
Well, what I heard last night is if they can stop, if Cruz can win Indiana, that gives them some hope. Their big one that they have to stop is California. Okay? But it is extremely expensive for the campaign in California. And both of them are running out of money. That money's drying up because they're getting no results. So the donors they've been pumping money into this campaign, this Never Trump and all that, and it's not going anywhere. So these big shots are losing millions of dollars, and it's not doing anything. And if you look at the polls, Trump's ahead in Indiana, and that's a real conservative state. He's ahead in California. And you're looking at, May 3rd, which is Tuesday, it's Indiana. The 10th is Nebraska and West Virginia. That's 36 and 34 delegates. May 17th is Oregon, which is one of the states that Kasich and Cruz are teaming up on. That's 28 delegates. Then you have the end of May. It's Washington for 44 delegates. And then we go to June 7th, which is Montana, 27, New Jersey, 51, New Mexico, which is the other one that they're tag teaming on, which it just doesn't make sense, Oregon and Mexico, because they're really not that large of a delegate state. New Jersey, 51, South Dakota, 29, and then California with 172. Not just because I'm a Trump supporter, or I endorse, however you want to put it. If the roles were reversed and Trump was in second place at this point, I would be calling for him to drop out, because at this point the party needs to start healing.
If the party doesn't want to hand the election, they don't want to hand the country over to Clinton. They need to pull their crap together and knock it off. I mean, it's that simple. I mean, it's like you got two opposing football teams, and one team is so busy beating the crap out of each other, the other guys just keep running into the damn end zone.
Yeah. Well, I keep hearing, the polls say Trump can't win. Well, the polls say Cruz can't win either, and actually the new polls show Hillary and Trump tied. If Trump is the nominee and he goes up against Hillary, the one thing I see is he's not going to be all nice and pleasant with Hillary. Yes, they are friends, which means he knows a lot of dirty secrets on that woman. And yes,
and vice versa. She's
yeah,
probably got a lot of stuff on him too. You know, I mean, if nothing else, it's going to be interesting.
What was it last night? Yeah, I forget who it was, said, if anything, it's going to be a comical next couple months, and the media is going to be tired covering between Hillary Clinton and Trump. It's going to be newsworthy. But last night, he took a swing at her and said the only thing she's got going for her is she's using that she's a woman. You know, he's not afraid to go into that area, which I don't think she expected. And she's like, yeah, I am a woman, and that means I stand up for women, and I do this, and you know, and, yeah. I love the war.
You want to go are we going to go to the whole feminist debate now?
I know the war on women. Yeah, the war on women is. Yeah, but the war on women is being waged by her husband.
Yeah. Hey, Josie, sorry to cut you off, but I got to get going. If any of the daytime listeners want to listen to the rest of this debate, something tells me tonight's show is going to be an interesting one.
Oh, I got several things on guns, the Second Amendment.
Yeah, whatever agenda you've got written for tonight, you might just want to throw it the hell out.
No, well, actually, I haven't written it yet because I've been learning that. This is what I was talking about yesterday. Okay, I write the whole agenda for Wednesday night show, and 9 times out of 10, we get maybe 5% done of what I write, and we go off on a different tangent. So,
yeah, what's supposed to be a 5-second soundbite turns into a 30-minute debate, discussion, and insulting string.
Yeah, but the day that I don't write everything and have it set out is the day we'll be sitting there going, what do we do? So, all right, tonight you will catch Southside Much with me and Crash. It's basically two idiots babbling about politics.
That's a good time. All right, everybody have a great day. And Jersey, I'll talk to you tonight.
Thank you for calling in. See ya.
Yep. Bye.
All right. Yeah, we are actually very tame compared to our normal way of conversating and dealing with this stuff. But yes, tonight, 8 p.m. till 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio. You can catch the Southside Much show, and it's basically two idiots going at it. So, where were we? So, yeah, it's this battle that's going on, and I don't think Cruz has the ability, or he's a politician. He's too worried about his outward appearance and all that, so he's not going to attack Hillary and be able to keep up with Hillary. And that's what worries me. He's not going to be able to take it to her. And she's just going to pull her normal tricks and just run right over him. And I mean, to give an example, when she was in the Senate going up against somebody, the Republican male asked her to sign something to prove a point, and she lambasted him because she's a woman and he was, attacking her when all he did is ask her to sign something. And she went to the woman card and totally lambasted the guy. And the guy sat there, I'm sorry. No, I'm not against women. I would have been like, what the hell does that have to do? And we have politicians that they have these people are hired and they tell you, no, you can't do that. It'll give you a bad appearance. And that's one of the things the donors are pissed at right now, because all these campaign managers are taking a percentage of the campaign donations. So these campaign managers that are failing, the only thing they're succeeding in is becoming very rich. They're not winning the fights. So, I know that was a total jump from Hillary Clinton over to that. This whole season has exposed how ridiculous, both on the Republican and Democrat side, that our government has become. It's totally ridiculous. A lot of this stuff was never exposed. There's, I think, more people interested and paying attention this time. And something told me we were going to see this type of controversy on the Republican side when the Democrats, when that whole superdelegate thing first blew up. Something told me we're going to see it on the Republican side. We are going to get it on the Republican side. And lo and behold, we have it. And I know they say, well, Trump's whining and crying. No. He's being smart. What does a majority of the American people complain about? The corruptness. How the non-politicians always get screwed over in elections. We've been complaining about that for decades. So what does Trump do? He keeps pointing that out. And the only thing they have is, and they've tried it in the past, and it's usually worked. Oh, they're just whining, they're crying because they're losing. The problem is, this one is the winner pointing it out. So how can you say he's crying and whining? He's winning. The one I see whining and crying is Cruz. Not because I am a Trump supporter, because the guy's sitting there talking and his campaign's sitting there going, oh, no. See, this is our plan. We're on the exact path. See, we're winning, actually. We're winning this campaign. Trump's losing it. And yes, I heard one of his campaign personnel say that they are winning it. And Trump's losing. And that next Tuesday is when their campaign is going to kick in to overdrive, and they're going to drive it home. course, I've heard this every Tuesday for the past couple of months. They keep saying, well, next week is when we're going to kick it into high gear. How many times do we have to hear it? And this, well, we're winning. We're winning. Don't worry, we're winning. Your numbers are showing you're losing. Well, the people want us. They're just not voting for us. That is the most... The other one I heard is Trump has the advantage of leading. What do? You handed it? No, he's been fighting tooth and nail for that lead. Is that like the designated hitter or something? And I know I touched on this yesterday, but it's the stuff that I'm hearing out of the Cruz campaign and the Cruz supporters. And I saw last night, this guy, he just went, you could see they're in a breakdown. They're in this free-for-all. Oh, everybody that said anything that was close to positive about Trump, and he was all over Trump's Twitter feed. You're a fucking idiot. You're a moron. You're this. You're that. Da, 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 da. Oh, well, Trump can't win in conservative states. He won the South. The Southeast, he won. Oh, no, I'm talking about tonight. I mean, the guy couldn't even make a valid point without making an excuse because he was giving out wrong information. He can't win in a conservative state. Well, he's won several conservative states. Oh, I mean tonight. Wait a minute. I got justice-involved individuals. Oh, where's my cursor? No, I haven't seen that, but... Oh, my flipping... Actually, it's time for a break, and I'm going to take a look at this article real quick. Where are my buttons? I'm so off today. You're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio. We'll be right back after this message.
Conservative media done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
Breaking news. According to the latest report coming out of SHR Media, a merchandise store to support both the Reaver of Common Sense and SHR Media has just been unleashed to the general public. Be forewarned that this site can be contagious and numerous items can be purchased to support the best news programming. Go to Reaver.one website and click on the store link to check out the merchandise.
To Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe. Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch the Reaver of Common Sense show, hosted by Jersey Joe, right here on shrmedia.com and highplainsdailynews.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else, so consider this your fair warning.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians,
You got a business. That you didn't build that.
a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean.
Dude, I'm not saying cop for the stupid pro.
Sackhead Clint.
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
Also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, 'cause I'm drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on shrmedia.com.
Every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, it is the Reaver After Dark, hosted by Jersey Boys, Jersey Joe, and Jersey Crash, right here on SHRmedia.com and HighPlainsDailyNews.com.
Times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guide. Because truth is not always pleasant.
If you miss a show, don't worry. You can catch the replays two ways, rebootingliberty.com or the Reaver of Common Sense.com. While you're there on Reaver of Common Sense, don't forget, drop in your email and keep up to date on everything going on, or click the like button on the Facebook widget. Now on to the Reaver of Common Sense.
Done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show.
And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense. I am your host, Jersey Joe. I am making sense out of the senseless. The Jersey Takeover is here. We have expanded to 2 hours every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Don't forget to join the live chat. Go to shrmedia.com. Click on the chat room button. Join the conversation. Tonight, 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on shrmedia.com and High Plain Pundit Radio, you can catch the Southside Mutts. You got a little bit of a sampling of that earlier. And it's hosted by the Jersey Boys, Jersey Joe and Crash. We will be digging up the dirt on the news. If you want to watch a live stream of the Reaver of Common Sense, it's easy. Go to Reaver.1. Reaver.1. Click on the live stream. And if you like the live stream, don't forget to subscribe to the live stream. If you want to support the show or support SHR Media, go to Reaver.1. Click on the Reaver store. We make it as easy as possible for you. Go to Reaver.1 also. There is the Glenn A. Doherty Memorial Scholarship. Yes, Cal. 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. She came to watch the show one day, and she thought it was 9 p.m. How fast I talk, sometimes I could see where people would think it would be 9 p.m. But there's the Glenn A. Doherty Memorial Scholarship. It has the person's name and the email for you to contact so you can donate to that scholarship. Once it hits the $24,000 mark, it becomes a permanent scholarship. And for those that don't know who Glenn A. Doherty is, get your head out of your ass. His name was all over the news. He gave his life at Benghazi so that others may live. All right, so this was just added in. This is an article I got from Kel. She gave to me, and it was kind of confusing for Dean, Crash, when he called in because his other half is Kel also. So when I kept saying Kel, he was kind of flinching, thinking his wife was behind him or something. But the DOJ coins a new term for convicted criminals, the justice-involved individuals. I don't think this one's going to catch on like the undocumented alien did. And they love doing this. I've been saying for a while. They love to change the wording of stuff to make it a nice, soft-sounding issue. It went from illegal aliens, which gave it a negative connotation, to an undocumented alien, which gave it a neutral type. And now they tried to push it as the Americans in waiting, which really gave it a patriotic, The patriots should get behind. They are Americans in waiting. No, they're illegal aliens. They're here illegally. They broke the law. And there's justice-involved individuals. It takes away the convicted criminal. And in an effort to help young people involved in the justice system find jobs and housing, the United States Department of Justice and Housing and Urban Development today announced a $1.75 million for public housing authority and nonprofit legal service organizations to address the challenges justice-involved individuals face when trying to find work and a place to call home. It doesn't matter, you changed the name, it's still the same. They are still convicts. They still broke the law. They're trying to make it, well, they're trying to kiss ass. So the hope that these people will vote for them. You have the Virginia governor who, through executive order, has allowed convicted felons to now vote. The future of our nation depends on the future of our young people, including young people who have become involved with our justice system. By helping justice-involved youth find decent jobs and stable housing after they return home, these critical grants provide a foundation for a fresh start and offer a path towards productivity and purpose. In the months ahead, the Department of Justice will continue helping justice-involved youth enrich their lives and improve our country. Listen, I have no problem with trying to help them get off the path, but changing fucking words is not going to change what they did. And some of these people, we are babying them too much. And it's... If you turn to a life of crime, I'm tired of them playing patsy with these people. All right? No one was there in my youth doing that. I just got told, you have a choice. You fucking straighten up or you're going to go live in prison. That's your choice. Well, volunteering at a firehouse, being around that strict atmosphere, turned me around. I had pride in the firehouse. I had respect for the firehouse, so I did not want to get in trouble and bring down a bad name on the firehouse. I didn't need the government sitting there wiping my ass, patting me on the head, and all that. This is just more bullshit from the left to try to kiss ass with the wrong people. They treat law-abiding citizens like crap. They treat the law-abiding citizens like a third, fourth-rate citizen. They walk all over us while they kiss ass with criminals, while they kiss ass with illegal immigrants. They kiss ass with terrorists, but treat us like shit. Then they wonder why Trump is so popular. Then they wonder why that movement is so strong. And as much as I don't agree with the movement that's going on in the Democrat Party of pushing for Bernie, I can see why they're going for Bernie. Because even though he is part of the establishment, he's playing that persona of the anti-establishment, of the crazy uncle. He is everything Hillary is not. Again, just because I don't agree with it doesn't mean I can't see the appeal to it. Convicts who turn their life around, turn to a life of crime early on, or the future. The Attorney General, Loretta Lynch, said, calling them justice-involved youth. No, they're convicts. They need to pay their price. Now, does that mean someone during their youth does something stupid that they have to pay the rest of their life? No. But they need to prove that they are straightened out, that they just made one mistake. People make mistakes in their lives. I understand that, and I don't think someone should have to pay their whole life for one mistake. And it also depends on what that mistake was. If you go out and murder 20 people, that's a little bit more than a small mistake. They clamped down on all these laws and made more laws, which is a Democrat thing. Now they're surprised people are breaking all these laws. I'm sorry, in my high school, if you got in a little fist fight, you got suspended for the day or two. Now, you're getting arrested, you're going to trial. Then they wonder why people's lives are getting ruined. They're clamping down so hard on everybody, and then they wonder why everybody's getting records. Maybe we need to take a look at our politicians and our government. Our government is too far up our ass. And if I want to have a colonoscopy, I will go to a doctor, not the government. And on a side note, if you're going for a colonoscopy, or not actually a colonoscopy, if you're going for a prostate exam, there's one thing you need to check out and look at. Look at the hands of your doctor and see if he's wearing a Super Bowl ring. And no, I'm not going to explain that joke. Hopefully you can figure that one out. So, the Department of Justice put money from the 2007 Second Chance Act towards the Juvenile Reentry Assistance Program, granting $1.75 million to nonprofits and public housing authorities in order to help justice-involved individuals convicted of crime get jobs and housing after they serve their sentence. So let's see. They're going to get housing into a crime-riddled area, which is going to lead them back into the crime. And it's just going to go right back to where they were. And it doesn't mean, they should find high. No. You need to work to prove. I don't mind helping people out. I really don't. But some of this stuff is getting nuts. It is. Especially justice-involved individuals. I can't believe that they would be stupid enough. Justice-involved individuals. Oh, that fucking convicts. The Juvenile Reentry Assistance Program helps ex-con in part by expunging or sealing the criminal records for those as old as 24 so they can live in taxpayer-funding housing. Lynch's statement came during National Reentry Week, when the Obama administration works to soften or eliminate the consequences of committing serious crimes and ensures ex-cons are given the same advantages as lifelong law-abiding citizens. It is an absolute joke. I'm getting so fed up. This government is such a joke. It's not even funny. There's no punchline anymore. Hillary, as a white person, I have to say, we are not a post-racial society. Also, a lot of sexism still. Well, you know what, Hillary? You don't get to speak for all of us. You are part of that 1%er. Maybe you're still sexist and you're still racist. I'm not. Because one thing I fear is if I say something if I actually meant something sexist, my mom would still beat the shit out of me. She's 70-some years old. Democrat presidential candidate, former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton stated that as a white person, I have to talk about racism more and say that we are not a post-racial society. Thank you, Obama's administration, because I'm sorry, there was still racism. There will always be racism, but the issue and the problem was not as prominent as it is now. The problems that we're having between the different ethnicities has been made worse by Obama. He has helped to exaggerate the issues and the problems. He has helped push the negative, this false, that cops are out to kill all black people. There's more blacks that kill blacks. There's more blacks that kill whites. there's more blacks that kill cops. Cops are not out there murdering people just for the fun of it. But people are now murdering cops, it seems, for the fun of it. The one that made this issue as bad as it is Obama's administration. And now Hillary's going to play off those fears of this negative campaign. And she says, we are still facing and struggling with a systematic racism. It's true in employment and promotion and other job opportunities. How does she know? Except for, well, is she not giving people raises based on skin color, sex? She has also said she's going to make sure that 50%, if she's elected president, 50% of the cabinet is going to be women. So she's going to be hiring people based on what dangles or what doesn't dangle between the legs. Isn't that sexism within itself? They keep pushing these issues and saying we need to hire based on color. But you can't hire people based on color. It is the most confusing shit. You can't do stuff based on a person's sex, nationality, creed, but then they say you have to make sure you have these types of people and equal amount of male to female. How is that not sexist and racist right there? They push it. Not me. Not you. The government. The Democrats. The liberals. They're the ones that keep making an issue out of this and pushing it. I'm going to go bang my head against the wall, see if I kill a few brain cells so I can start thinking like Hillary does. Actually, I don't want to do that. I don't want to go down to one brain cell. I really don't. You're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio, where even an amoeba knows it has more brain cells than Hillary Clinton.
Done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
Breaking news. According to the latest report coming out of SHR Media, a merchandise store to support both the Reaver of Common Sense and SHR Media has just been unleashed to the general public. Be forewarned that this site can be contagious and numerous items can be purchased to support the best news programming. Go to Reaver.one website and click on the store link to check out the merchandise.
To Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe. Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch the Reaver of Common Sense show, hosted by Jersey Joe, right here on shrmedia.com and highplainsdailynews.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else, so consider this your fair warning.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians,
You got a business. That you didn't build that.
a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean.
Dude, I'm not saying cop for the stupid pro.
Sackhead Clint.
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
Also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, 'cause I'm drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on shrmedia.com.
Every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, it is the Reaver After Dark, hosted by Jersey Boys, Jersey Joe, and Jersey Crash, right here on SHRmedia.com and HighPlainsDailyNews.com.
Times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guide. Because truth is not always pleasant.
If you miss a show, don't worry. You can catch the replays two ways, rebootingliberty.com or the Reaver of Common Sense.com. While you're there on Reaver of Common Sense, don't forget, drop in your email and keep up to date on everything going on, or click the like button on the Facebook widget. Now on to the Reaver of Common Sense.
Done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show.
And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense show. I am your host, Jersey Joe, and I'm making sense out of the senseless and probably making a lot of sexist remarks at the same time. According to the liberals, at least. The Jersey Takeover is here. Got it itchy. The Jersey Takeover is here. We have expanded to 2 hours every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Remember to join the live chat. Go to shrmedia.com. Click on the chat room button. Join the conversation. If you want to watch a live broadcast, go to Reaver.one. Click on the live stream. And if you like that live stream, click on subscribe. There's a lot of clicking here. That could get really kinky, too. If you want to support the show, go to or support SHR Media. Go to Reaver.one. And again, click on the Reaver store. Go to Reaver.one also and click on the link for the information on how to donate to the Glenn A. Doherty Memorial Scholarship. Now, this one has nothing to do with clicking, but tonight, well, yeah, there is some clicking involved in it. But tonight, go to shrmedia.com or High Plains Pundit Radio and catch the Southside Much Show with the Jersey Boys, Jersey Joe, and Crash. All right. So, the high-capacity magazine bans have no actual impact in California cities. Surprise! It is not going to stop criminals. It is not going to stop mass killings. It's not going to stop jack shit. It is a feel-good law that the Democrats put up. Look what I did. I did away with the high-capacity magazines. There will be no more crime. It is done. It's over with. There is no high-capacity magazines. Yeah. A report on high-capacity magazine ban in Los Angeles, Oakland, San Francisco, and Sunnyvale shows the bans are not having any actual impact. This means that no magazines have been turned in, none seized as a direct result of a local large magazine bans on the books. Therefore, criminals still have them, but law-abiding citizens cannot get them in L.A., Oakland, San Francisco, and Sunnyvale. Yes, the silly idea from Democrats that criminals will follow laws. If you just put a new law in effect, they will stop murdering people. We just got to find out what that one law is that they will abide by. If they don't abide by the thousands upon thousands of other laws, the stupidity to think that one more gun law and everybody will abide by it. Or if we ban guns, nobody will murder each other. We'll stop with the mass murders. We'll stop the shootings. No, we won't. Nope. Ain't happening. We have been killing each other since the dawn of time. Whether Adam and Eve or, whichever evolution you want to go with, however you want to believe that we came about, we have been killing each other since that time. Whether with sticks and rocks, hands, bows and arrows, swords, knives, spoons. But sir, spoon is dull. Yes, and it would hurt more. All right. That is the million-dollar question. Where did that come from? The spoon incident. The spoon cut your heart out with a spoon. That is the main question of the day. And if anybody can guess what movie that came from, I will give you an attaboy. That's all I got to give out is an attaboy. Hey. This idea that so this Alice Anderman of the Law Center to Prevent Gun Violence says the fact that these laws may be difficult to enforce in some cases is not an argument against enacting them. But it's also that it's not going to stop the criminals from having them. It's not going to stop the criminals from doing anything. The only thing you're hurting is the law-abiding citizen. So how is that law going to stop gun violence? It's not. You half-witted nerf herder. And all this person says is, argues that gun bans are still a valid option if they have the potential to have an impact. To have an impact. Do you know where it's going to have an impact? Is when the law-abiding citizens cannot protect themselves. When a law-abiding citizen goes to work and a criminal walks in and shoots them. The blood is on their hands. The hands of this Allison Anderman. The blood is on her hands. And yes, I do know. And I know how that goes about. These people have no fucking clue what's going on in the real war. They have no clue how it affects families. They go by, it's a feel-good law. Because that's all these laws do is make them feel good, like they're doing something. And the only thing they're doing is murdering innocent civilians. And according to the KQED, it's the Irvine criminal justice professor, George Tate, believes the actual impact of high-capacity magazine bans is unknown, and he suggests the so-called difficulty of determining the efficiency of local regulations is, of course, the prohibition against federal funding on researching gun violence. No, because it's not going to stop jack shit. And here we go with the people that on paper it looks good, so it must work in real life. Well, on paper and in a physics lab, they can make an elephant stand on an egg without breaking the egg. Try doing that in real life. It's not going to work. And most of these laws that they come up with, these harebrained schemes that they come up with, these feel-good laws, are not going to work. The only thing it's going to work doing is getting civilians killed. That is it. Concealed carry permits surge in Sacramento County. Concealed carry permits in Sacramento County have surged to the point that about 1 out of every 135 adults in the county carries a gun legally every day, according to the Sacramento Bee. Scott Jones became sheriff of Sacramento County in 2010. At that point, approximately 350 residents had a concealed permit. Today, that number is around 8,000. According to the Bee, Sheriff Jones' office has issued more than 4 permits a day, every day for the last 5 years. California laws allows county sheriffs discretion in issuing concealed carry permits, so long as the applicants meet certain minimum requirements. His predecessor issued far fewer, and Jones believes there is a pent-up demand that he is now meeting by approving permit applications. And then you have Colorado. I think it was Colorado that just made the news, where the politician, I think it was the governor, I could be wrong on the state. That's going to drive me nuts. That said, the Second Amendment is your concealed carry permit. Constitutional carry is exploding across this country, as it should. And there is now statistics showing that areas that have gun control have a higher crime rate. Yes, they're starting to look into that, and it's starting to show gun control causes violence. Gun-free zones cause violence. Criminals are going to continue to carry in those areas, and law-abiding citizens won't. And the criminals know it. They know they have the advantage. It's an easy pickings, and that's what they want. Easy pickings, because if they didn't mind working hard, they'd be out there with the rest of us citizens following the laws and busting our asses every day. Jones was preceded by Sheriff John McGinnis and Lou Blanes, who issued just over 2,000 permits from 2005 to 2009. Currently, Sheriff Jones' office often issues as many permits in 2 months as during that entire 5-year period. One of the ways Jones manages to issue so many permits is by viewing a general desire to protect oneself and family as a sufficient fulfillment of California's good clause. And I find it sick because even New Jersey, that is not a sufficient reason to have a concealed carry. And the fact that it's our Second Amendment right is not a sufficient reason in the communist state of New Jersey. Breitbart News previously reported that concealed carry is also surging in Orange County. The Orange County Register reports that permits in the county are up nearly tenfold over the past 2 years. As in Sacramento County, the number of Orange County adults with a carry permit is about 8,000. Now we're going to jump to Ohio now. Ohio Sheriff, if you are fearful, arm yourself. In the wake of a mass murder of 8 members of the Roden family in Ohio, Piketon County Sheriff Charles Reader told county residents, if you are fearful, arm yourself. Reader stressed his belief the Roden family was singled out on April 22nd, that they were specifically targeted, and that there is no danger to the community at large. But he said residents who are concerned ought to arm themselves for self-defense. According to the Columbus Dispatch, Reader told remaining Roden family members they need to arm up because they are a target. To other Piketon County residents, he said, I can tell you, if you are fearful, arm yourself. If you feel you need to protect yourself and your family, do so and contact the local law enforcement to come and respond to it. Now, this is a sheriff who believes the first line of defense is citizens defending themselves. Now, you take that down here in Florida, you go to Pinellas County, when we were discussing open carry, and that sheriff turns around and says, well, if my sheriff see people with open carrying a gun, we're going to shoot and kill them. How can we tell the good guys from bad guys? Well, let's see. If the gun is in the holster, open carry, in a holster, walking down the street, I don't think he's a criminal. Criminals like the elements of the prize. I keep hearing about how if open carry were to pass, there would be bloodshed, there would be gun battles in the street every day. But yet, I don't see that in 45 other states. 44. No, 46. My math went the wrong way. I don't see that. States that really don't allow you to carry. And I don't like that number 46 because New Jersey, it does allow open carry, but it does not hand out the permits. So realistically, we're down to 44. 45. Keep going the wrong way. There is no gun battles. It is and they compare it to the Wild West. Well, if you look at the Wild West, it really wasn't as violent as TV and books made it out to be. Wild West wasn't really that bad. And a couple of cities, they had some issues for a little bit. And when they had the issues was when they took guns away from people. That's when the criminals and bad guys came riding in and committing crimes as they saw fit. This is nothing new, people. Protecting yourself is your right. And if you don't believe in guns and you don't want to protect yourself, that is your right also. I don't tell you you have to have a gun. That's your right. But you're going to try to tell me that I can't protect my family? No, that's not your right to do. But you know what's right? You're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio. We'll be right back after this break.
Conservative media done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
Breaking news. According to the latest report coming out of SHR Media, a merchandise store to support both the Reaver of Common Sense and SHR Media has just been unleashed to the general public. Be forewarned that this site can be contagious and numerous items can be purchased to support the best news programming. Go to Reaver.one website and click on the store link to check out the merchandise.
Listening to Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe. Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch the Reaver of Common Sense show, hosted by Jersey Joe, right here on SHRmedia.com and HighPlainsDailyNews.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else, so consider this your fair warning.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians,
You got a business. That you didn't build that.
a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean,
Dude, I'm not saying cough, stupid pro.
Sackhead Clint,
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, 'cause I'm drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on SHRmedia.com.
Every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, it is the Reaver After Dark, hosted by Jersey Boys, Jersey Joe, and Jersey Crash, right here on SHRmedia.com and HighPlainsDailyNews.com.
Times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guide. Because truth is not always pleasant.
If you miss a show, don't worry. You can catch the replays two ways, rebootingliberty.com or the reaverofcommonsense.com. While you're there on Reaver of Common Sense, don't forget, drop in your email and keep up to date on everything going on, or click the like button on the Facebook widget. Now on to the Reaver of Common Sense.
Done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show.
And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense. I am your host, Jersey Joe, and I'm trying to make sense out of the senseless. The Jersey Takeover is here. We have expanded to 2 hours every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Remember to join the live chat. Go to shrmedia.com. Just click on the chat room button. Join the conversation. If you want to watch the broadcast, go to Reaver.one. Click on the live stream. If you like this live stream, don't forget to subscribe. And if you want to support the show, or if you want to support SHR Media, go to Reaver.one. Click on the Reaver store. Go to Reaver.one for another great cause. The Glenn A. Doherty Memorial Scholarship. They're trying to get to the $24,000 mark to make it a permanent scholarship in his name. And lastly, don't forget, 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's right, tonight is Southside Mutt's show with the Jersey Boys, Jersey Joe and Crash. I really should have thought about that name, the Southside Mutt Show. Try saying that really fast 10 times. We'll be digging up the dirt. It's a lot of states have really come about and said, you know what, this gun control is not working, and allowing our citizens to protect themselves is working. Now, that does not mean that you're not going to have instances where you have dumbasses that are going to act like idiots, but you're going to have mistakes and you're going to have idiots. That doesn't mean everybody else should be penalized. I mean, that's what they also tell us, that we shouldn't be classifying all Muslims as terrorists. But yet they want to classify all gun owners as gun nuts and out to kill everybody. When it suits them, they will do and classify everybody, lump them all together. But when and I don't even agree with lumping all the Muslims together, because not all of them are terrorists and not all of them are out for the destruction of areas. Is there a large amount? Yes. But there is groups that, well, number one, and I was one of those, if they're not speaking out, they are just as culpable as those that are doing it. Actually, no, I've changed my ways on it. Oh, my God, people change their opinions and they change their ideology. Holy shit, that's a new thing that happened. Oh, my God. Oh, wait a minute. No, people change their philosophies all the time. New facts come in that makes them rethink their ideology, will put them into a new direction. Holy shit. I wonder if the Republican Party's heard of this. Because they think Trump can't change. They say nobody can change. Oh, wait a minute. Except for Ronald Reagan. That was okay. You know, hindsight 2020, it's okay that Ronald Reagan changed. You don't make every excuse that he changed. But the fact is, if those Muslims actually spoke out, they would become enemy number one. And I can't say I wouldn't speak out in that incident when my family, my wife and my child would become enemies number one. So I can't, I'm not walking in their shoes, so I'm not going to condemn them when a lot of them are just trying to protect their families. And I'm not trying to stick up for all the acts that are done by Muslims. But there is groups that can't speak out because their families and them would become enemy number one. And the number one job in life is you got to protect your family. I can't, and I won't say all Muslims are bad. Just as not all gun owners are bumbling idiots that shoot themselves. See, I agree with George Carlin, and I think we protect our kids a little too much. We bubble wrap them too much. And Mother Nature, who normally weeds out the weak, we're now breeding. We're allowing them to live. If a kid is going to play catch with a rattlesnake, do we really want that kid having kids? I know it sounds mean and cruel, but still, come on. Then you wonder why we have a lot of idiots who sit there and look down a barrel of a gun and pull the trigger, and then everybody's shocked that they blew their friggin' head off. Well, if you're dumb enough to do that and think only good things are going to happen, well, I don't know if I want you having a kid. And I know that's so mean to me. But lastly, the Colorado County GOP chair errs with Ted Cruz delegate win and that they might need to do a redo. Now, I want to make it abundantly clear. Number one, this chairwoman is a Cruz supporter. Number two, Trump's campaign already said they are not contesting the results. But the chairwoman of the Boulder County GOP has admitted that grave errors affected the county Republican caucus in which Senator Ted Cruz won a clean sweep of 34 delegates without opening up the process to voting by everyday citizens. Breitbart News has obtained an email that Boulder County GOP chairwoman Peg Cage sent to other Republican officials in Colorado, including other party chairs, describing the errors in the process that led to the perception of fraud. Reached for comment on the email, Cage said that the caucus might have to be done over. Since Breitbart's original report on massive voter problem at the caucus, including names of candidates being left off. Thank you. Yeah, I knew that was coming up today. Dang it. Trump is addressing the foreign policy. It's live right now. He's a little late on it, but... And when I mean late on it, I just saw a couple minutes ago at noontime he was supposed to do it. cspan.org is carrying it live. But with the Colorado issue, a massive voter problem at the caucus, including names of candidates being left off the ballots, at least one woman not being able to vote. Insiders have come forward to tell this reporter and others alleged inconsistencies, including a screw-up in 2 counties that led to one county having 20 more ballots and another county 20 less. Trump's supporters even protested the results of the caucus on the steps of the Colorado State Capitol. Rather than spending their time working on trying to build integrity and correct errors, I know that's happening. They're working on it right now. Today at 1:30, there's a bill being pushed by State Chairman Steve House to push from a caucus system to a primary system, as if that would change things, Boulder County Chairwoman Peg Cage told the reporter. The Trump supporters think that the Cruz supporters stole the election. The Cruz supporters were very concerned that they might not get seated in Cleveland, so they have been publicizing that the Trump campaign does not plan to contest the results. But those delegates could still be unseated by the Republican National Committee. If it's that bad, I guess if there's any question that our delegates won't be seated, then that would be a case where it might make sense to have a do-over. I would say it would. It might be a better way to just to make sure that our delegates, they ought to be able to go forth and get seated. I think they were mostly, from what I saw, clerical errors. To me, it's unexcusable. The ballots themselves had names missing, people who had signed up. It seems to happen in all of the districts, so I guess the state has something to do because it was up to the state who received those forms. There were many people at the state convention itself who they had to say, well, this person was this number, and it doesn't appear that way in the book. It just wasn't clean. It wasn't clean because of those clerical errors. Cage indicates that she is not a Trump supporter, but rather a Cruz supporter, and she is simply concerned with electoral integrity, saying, as a county chairwoman, I can't publicly declare. I do have a favorite. Well, standing up on the stage when Cruz was up there. She sent an email to fellow party chairs. Changing the process by which we get to counting votes won't change the perception of fraud. There were problems with this election in Colorado Springs. There is numerous errors that popped up. I give her credit. She's coming forward and stating there is errors. I know she's saying clerical errors, quote unquote. At this point, maybe they need to look. And they said that they were trained. They were having a lot of training beforehand so that everything was on the up and up and there was no hint of siding with one candidate or another. And it didn't look like there was any fraud. And everything got screwed up. And now it looks like everything was set up for Cruz. Well, maybe. See, this is one of those, well, the people voted. No, they voted for delegates. It is not the people voting for a candidate. There is a difference. I don't see this as being a major issue on the upcoming nomination. I really don't. There's 54 unbound delegates in Pennsylvania, and the Cruz delegates really did not win like they thought they were. As of right now, the Never Trump movement can only confirm 9 people out of 34 got voted in. Well, it's getting almost that time. And again, as always, I am honored and humbled that you have me on and that you listen to me rant and rave and try to point out what's going on. I try to take a different route as I do everything in life. I try to take outside the box thinking and pass it on to everybody else. And I never say this is definite. These are my opinions. And with that, I wish you would do. Remember tonight, Wednesday, 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time right here on SHR Media. You will have the Southside Mutt Show, and we're kicking off a great night. Because after me, it is Ken the Conservative. Then, you got it, the Sackhead Show. Till then, have a good day. You've been listening to the Reaver of Common Sense with its host, Jersey Joe. You can tune in every day, Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on hppundit.com and shrmedia.com.